Hello, BB Gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is my reaction to the Lantern Rite 2024, which has some significance for me in a sense that it's the first ever event I've ever heard of in Genshin, and also the first event I had to skip because, of course, I tried to avoid spoilers in a lot of things. It's also just, like, one of the biggest, like, representations of how, like, you know, fresh and, like, this playthrough is in terms of, like, me going into this game not knowing anything, because I legitimately have Charlotte in my thumbnail for my first ever Liyue Harbor video because I thought she lived in Liyue Harbor just because it's the first person we met when we went to went to Liyue Harbor, but it was actually the event thing. So, like, we weren't even supposed to meet her at that point as well. Very, very, very fun. Very interesting that that's the way that things went. Thank you to Deathtrap for making the spreadsheet for this. Deathtrap, I say it all the time, makes this spreadsheet so I don't even have to look up what events to watch. They're all just there for me to watch in the right order, what specifications I need, what requirements I need, what I don't need, all this stuff. And it's really, really fantastic. I'm excited to see this. Next year, we're going to be doing events. And so it's always, like, really interesting that I'm getting to do this now. Or at least I get to go back and watch this stuff. Let's check it out.
Keqing!
Yes, this is it. The first cutscene I saw in Liyue Harbor.
I should see you two together.
Nice to see you again, Traveler and Paimon.
Oh my god.
Oh, we're not interrupting anything.
It feels so weird because, like, it feels like
Not at all. I wasn't in the
I'm
middle
going
of
back
an
in
interview or
time.
anything. I was just asking
But
Miss
it's also
Keqing about
forward for
purchasing
me.
a kite.
A kite? Are you buying some regional specialties to bring back to Fontaine?
Well, yes.
I didn't know what Fontaine was when they said Fontaine at that point, I don't
Seems
think.
you haven't heard yet. The theme of this year's Lantern Rite is kites.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why Paimon has seen so many floating in the sky.
I think when I played this for the first time and I got to Liyue Harbor, I didn't know this was a Liyue Harbor, like, I didn't know this was a Lantern Rite cutscene, even though they said Lantern in it. But again, I was so new to the game, I didn't know anything really beyond what I was playing. And it's so interesting, after people told me this was like a whole thing, like, I didn't know that, but I thought actually at that point, what it was a, like, it was just these characters, like, we knew beforehand in the game that are, like, you know, you just meet, like, you know, like, sometimes in games everyone has a past. I thought that they were just friends from our past or something, and they were going to eventually, like, introduce them. And for me, they did introduce them, and I thought that's how they were going to introduce characters going forward. Just have the text go up on screen. This is who this is. This is who this is, and it just acts as if you know them already. Like, and that's how everyone got to meet them. I had no idea that, like, this was just like an event thing where, like, you had to, like, avoid spoilers and stuff like that, or I had to avoid spoilers. It's so interesting to think about now.
Always changing, so it is only fitting that Lantern Rite should change in turn.
True.
The Keqing believes it would benefit Liyue to build on our own cultural foundation by embracing the technologies of other nations.
Heck yeah.
After all, it is said that the stones of another mountain may serve to better polish one's own jade.
Yeah, remember my business meeting with Tianquan Ningguang the last time I was in Liyue
Yes,
Harbor?
exactly,
That's
yes.
what it was about. But all I really did was use my network to introduce Lady Ningguang to some interesting people.
That's enough.
I'm not sure that
awesome.
quite counts as fostering cooperation.
It helps
In the
so
end,
much.
we decided to combine Liyue's traditional art of kite-making with Fontaine's mechanical vertical lifting device.
Mechanical lifting device? Sounds pretty impressive. But don't kites just use the wind to fly? Why would you need to add something mechanical?
Well, you've actually just answered your own question, Paimon. How high and far a kite can fly depends as much on the weather conditions as on the skill of the person holding the string.
But as soon as there's no wind, you can only flail about helplessly like a sweet flower medaka out of
So it's
water.
going to help people fly who aren't very good at
Experience doesn't
kite
matter at
flying,
that
and if
point.
there's no wind as well.
Exactly. Liyue is now a nation ruled by humans, after all. It's about time we had the power to make a kite fly, don't you think? Plus, the easier we can make it to enjoy, the more people will want to participate.
Yeah, I think it is nice.
Right?
It's very
I
nice.
also thought it was a novel idea. Plus, it shouldn't cost much to do.
With Miss Charlotte's help, everything has gone smoothly. Our new mechanical kites are already available to purchase from a stall in the harbor.
So pretty.
We're having trouble
Look at the
keeping up
whopper
with
flower
demand.
one though, and the
We
carp.
also gave quite a bit of thought to the price. We didn't want it to be too much more expensive than a traditional kite.
Honestly, the carp being there as well after the mission we just did as well is so cool.
Cool! Turns out you two and Ningguang like playing with toys just as much as Paimon!
Okay, Piper likes playing with toys.
Toys? They're not exactly toys.
Well, I mean, you should have told me. I would have
You
given
see,
you like
Miss
some action
Keqing,
figures or
that
something.
does
Would have
seem to
found
be
some.
everyone's first reaction.
Although kites are one of our most time-honored cultural relics, outside of their use in certain ceremonies, I suppose they're considered playthings more than anything.
Yeah, but isn't
now.
that interesting that like from someone's perspective, like they can be like this sometimes happens where it's like, oh, that's kind of like different, and we talk about that all the time in Genshin, like even this week, how from an outside perspective you can all like something that seems strange to you is very normal for someone else. Something that is like, you know, as Paimon says, is a toy to her, is something that's very culturally impactful for people in Liyue. It's always interesting looking at those perspectives.
But to me, there's so much more than that.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that so
Think for
much.
a second about how remarkable it is that a flimsy paper kite attached to a string has the capacity to touch the sky.
Heck yeah.
It is this slight piece of paper that also carries the weight of Liyue's cultural traditions.
Such a sick way of looking at
There's an
it.
old poem that goes, "O kite born of paper, flying true and sound, a lone traveler wanders, just waiting to be found." In the past, poets from Liyue used kites to symbolize a feeling of longing, or evoke the peacefulness of idyllic rural scenery.
That's so
If
cool
the
to hear
people
about.
of today can derive enjoyment from this activity, they will not only be more likely to better appreciate the tradition, but also to pass it down to the people of tomorrow.
That's the Keqing we know, always thinking 5 steps ahead of anyone else.
Well said, Miss Keqing. I've learned quite a bit myself.
No, it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful way of looking at it.
As long as you're willing to listen, I'm happy to share.
Yeah.
I also know
And you
quite
can
a
ask for a
lot
better
about the
teacher,
various
honestly.
folk traditions related to kites. For example, whenever a kite blew away, people would say it was the adepti that summoned the wind to take it away as an offering. That way, you can turn an unfortunate event into an auspicious one.
What about something more fun? Do you know anything like that?
More fun. Let me think. Oh, I suppose we should first talk about how kites are made. It's another one of our precious forms of traditional craftsmanship. My grandfather told me that back when he was a boy, children learned the art of kite-making step by step from their elders.
Nice.
First,
Very sweet.
you use the thin strips of bamboo to construct the frame.
Like, these are beautiful.
Then, you draw
Stunning.
a design of your choice on a piece of paper, paste it onto the frame, and tie on the string. Then, you look towards the sky and release the kite to soar among the clouds. Some people write down certain names or desires on their kites, cut the string, and let them fly free. Others may place particular thoughts or meaning into the design itself.
Okay, so everyone
certain
has like a
designs associated
I
with
love that,
certain
like, you know,
meanings?
Keqing, you know, is very patient and being like, yeah, like from my outside perspective, it is kind of like maybe some people see it as a toy, but this is all like the very cultural and significant meaning that every kite can have to somebody. I think it's so nice. Like, and again, like I said, you couldn't ask for a better teacher.
I'm gonna jot all of this down.
Well, for example, kites in the shape of a butterfly typically symbolize freedom, happiness, or the desire to break free.
Nice.
Fascinating. What else can you tell
And
me?
Charlotte's, now we know that Charlotte's like genuinely
lizard
like so
tailed
interested in the
swallow is the most
information and
classic.
learning about this stuff because like they are so like, they're like a sponge. They love taking in all this info.
Design. It symbolizes good fortune and joyful tidings. Different colors also have small variations in meaning.
Are these commonly understood meanings and symbols in Liyue? Kind of like the language of flowers in Fontaine.
I believe so.
And with
Most
more
have
context
probably heard
to that now,
something
excuse
about
me.
it from their elders at some point.
With Linny giving us the flower that time, trying to rizz us up, I suppose. But yeah, like there is like a, you know, like in Fontaine, they also have their cultural thing where it's like flowers, which it's not even like, that's like a kind of a common thing, like that people talk about, like the idea of flowers having different meanings. But like it's very much like in this game a Fontainian thing where it's like you different flowers will symbolize different things. You give flowers different things depending on like what you mean or what they mean to you, I suppose. Yeah, I think it's so interesting how they're sharing these like cultural things between the two of them.
If you're interested, Miss Charlotte, I have several books on the topic
Why are you
that I
spying?
could lend you. They could be a useful reference.
That would be a huge help.
I love this. It's so sweet between the two of them.
Great. Looks like I've got the outline for quite the article on my hands.
Hope it goes well.
Perfect! We're gonna take a look around.
Then I'll show Miss Charlotte to my home for a little while.
I only want happiness for these two.
I almost
Only want
forgot.
happiness.
The Ministry of Civil Affairs is hosting a kite flying contest on the night of Lantern Rite. If you're interested, you're more than welcome to bring a kite and participate. The rules are simple. Whoever flies their kite the highest and furthest within the time limit will receive a special honor along with a secret prize.
I've already prepared more than enough empty film for the event. I can see the spectacle already.
We'll be there.
Oh, Paimon was on board the moment you said secret prize.
Then I'll look forward to seeing your performance.
You bet! See you then!
Man, I could listen to Keqing for like hours. I really could. And like seeing the interaction with Charlotte, now that we know them personally, seeing like how like Charlotte responds to stuff, it makes so much sense.
Wait, Traveler?
All that
take a
made
peek
so
to
much
your
sense.
Do you see those two people lurking
Yeah,
over there?
Paimon. You're right. You're
Was
right.
it just Paimon? Or were they staring at us the whole time we were talking to Keqing and Charlotte just now?
Did Keqing do attract a lot of
They
attention?
seem fishy. Great, so it wasn't just Paimon.
No, it wasn't. You were right. You're right.
Do you think they could be treasure hoarders? They always seem to be stirring up trouble during Lantern Rite. Oh, Paimon's sick of waiting around for something bad to happen. We should strike first, you know? Foil their plans before they even begin.
Where'd she
You
go?
go right, Paimon will go left.
Yeah? Wait, Paimon. Paimon, just go for it. There it is. The first part of the Lantern Rite 2024. Yeah, such a great start as well. Like, and it's crazy that, like, for me, like, my context with this as well is that I don't know, like, this Lantern Rite here was, to me, 17 episodes into the series when I got to Liyue Harbor, and I saw just, I think that's the only cutscene I saw. If you go back and watch it, there's the only cutscene I saw for this part. And I remember the context of this now was that, like, for me, it was my first part of the game. I haven't even indented the game. For everyone else who started the game 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago now, this was like well into the game, like well into the series at this point.
It is with such an air of urgency that you appear before us. Your comportment suggests you believe us to have committed some heinous crime.
What voice acting?
Perhaps you could enlighten us as to your intentions.
Whoa, where did this fuddy-duddy come from?
Fuddy-duddy.
You should be the one doing the enlightening, buddy.
Yeah, get him, Paimon.
Don't think we didn't notice you eavesdropping. One look and we could tell you were up to no good. Tell us everything, starting with your name.
Get him. Oh, the different streak of color in the hair is kind of cool, guys.
One bears no secrets before two such as yourselves. You stand in the presence of the mighty
Oh
and
my God, the
illuminated
voice!
Adeptus,
The freaking voice, of course.
Moon Carver. For the purpose of this foray into the mortal realm, however, you may
That's so
address
great.
one
Oh my God,
as
of course.
Hojong.
I was like, that voice acting.
You kidding? That deer's got his head stuck so far up in the clouds. There's no
Paimon.
way he'd humble himself down here with the rest of us.
The voice does match.
You may want to hold your tongue, Paimon.
Don't think
Is this
that
Shaper?
Paimon is gonna believe you just because you know her name. Let Paimon
Yeah.
guess. You're supposed to be Mountain Shaper.
It is. Oh,
right?
look at Paimon's face.
Indeed. Mooncarver and myself have descended
is
upon
crazy,
the mortal
so cool.
realm for a visit. The two of you may call me Jiahu.
Huh. Looks like you did your research. But in our experience, the harder you try to lead us on, the more likely it is that we've got a big fish on our hands.
Oh my
We'll
God.
go straight to the Millilith and have you arrested for impersonating a adepti.
Preposterous. Utterly
The
preposterous.
voice acting performance from Paimon's voice actor is always so good.
Tell us something that only an adeptus would know. And it better not be some common knowledge that any person on the street
Yeah,
can
tell
you.
him. Tell him now. Can I say as well, I'm so glad that we chose, I think for a lot of this, like this stuff with Xianyun and like, and stuff, I guess, Xianyun and this stuff here, I like, what I did was, if you remember, I stared at my number in the corner, the UID number, and I turned down the volume on the TV and just pressed X over and over again. So like, it's crazy that at this point, it would have been known to me, the word adepti would have been said, the words like Moonshaper and Mooncarver would have been said, and I would have known this stuff already. So I always like stand by my decisions back then to not do the Lantern Rite. You know, even though there's some people who did want me to do it, I stand by it fully to not do it. Because I would have heard these names beforehand. I would have been like, you know, there would have been this curious thing of thinking about it. What is that? Adepta, all this stuff, you know what I mean? But instead we got to find out as we went, which I found it to be much better for me.
During the last Lantern Rite, we gathered at Mount Hulao with Rex Lapis and made use of Cloud Retainer's supreme cuisine machine to prepare bamboo shoot soup. Perhaps you have some recollection.
I remember that very
The
well.
flavor
That
of
was the time we
soup
brought
was
Xiao to
more
dinner.
than
It was
enough to
lovely.
whet one's appetite. As such, Cloud Retainer assented to my use of the device beyond that singular occasion, providing other recipes to boot. Since then, one has dabbled in the pleasures of the culinary arts whenever time allows.
Dabbled? Upon one's last sojourn to your mountain, did you not immediately attempt to hide the device behind a chunk of amber as soon as one's presence was known?
I love that they have bickering even though they're
Did one
adepti.
not
It's like
speak
makes
up
them,
on
it
your
grounds them
behalf
so
but
much.
A moment ago. This is how you choose to repay that kindness?
You know what I mean? Like this is what I love about the adepti.
One
It
is
grounds them so,
simply
and the
trying
gods as
to
well. It grounds
emphasize
them.
the veracity of our claim.
That does not mean you should reveal personal matters so readily. They might think one bears no difference from Cloud Retainer. Forget it. One does not have the breath to waste on such petty trifles.
Yeah, I suppose they really are the adepti with this arguing as well.
That might have been more detail than we needed. Seems like you two are the real deal, and Paimon, sorry for suspecting you. But, for beings as forgiving as yourselves, this is just water under the bridge,
Yeah,
right?
take it as a compliment for sure.
You indeed have an agile mind. Cloud Retainer was not mistaken in her high estimation.
Oh my god,
of
thank you.
Paimon's still curious about something. It's just... Paimon can understand why Mountain Shaper is here, but why did you decide to come to the city, Mooncarver? It's not really your thing, is
I mean,
it?
these are some of the adepti that Paimon's right. They are very much like recluse sometimes, or a lot of times.
It is but an inevitable eventuality.
Together at the
Long
same time.
have the mountains remained strangely idle since Cloud Retainer's move to Liyue Harbor. With Lantern Rite near at hand, one would expect Cloud Retainer to provide us with an account of the festivities in advance. Yet to this day, she has failed to appear.
Cloud Retainer is hardly the forgetful sort.
Yes.
One must never rest
Very good at
idle in the
remembering.
face of that which demands action. And since our acquaintances dwell in Liyue Harbor, we had to travel here in human form to avail ourselves of their aid. Cloud Retainers in this case.
Because Cloud Retainer moved here.
But a moment
Yeah.
ago, one heard you speak of a mechanical kite of sorts. It appears the essence of the situation has hitherto revealed itself. Now it is time for one to retire back to one's abode.
So, you're not looking for Cloud Retainer anymore?
Perhaps there are aspects of Cloud Retainer's temperament that remain opaque to young Paimon. Given one's understanding, one can only imagine the anger that now consumes her.
Cloud Retainer is of a proud and arrogant disposition. She holds the belief that her skill in mechanics surpasses that of all
Well, she's
others.
we know she's very competitive
One
for
can be
sure.
quite certain it is hardly with an open mind that she regards the arrival of this new technology.
Oh, the mechanical
One
stuff from
surmises that she
Fontaine.
has shut herself away, refused all company, and buried herself in the study of her
Wow.
own creations.
That's a really cool story element. The idea that she would get like kind of like, because she does get competitive and she gets a bit like defensive about her work. We know this. So like, what does she think about the Fontainian stuff?
To call on her would only invite her rebuke. However, if you do happen to cross paths with her over the next few days, do pass along one's regards.
Sure, leave it to us. Have a safe trip back, enjoy the scenery, and happy Lantern Rite!
Thank you, Paimon, for being such a great diplomat here.
Thank you for your kind words. We shall now depart.
Yeah, that's such an interesting concept.
We got all worked up for nothing, huh? All that trouble and it turned out to be people we knew all along.
Yeah.
Well, it's still pretty early. Let's head over and check out the kite stalls. Paimon wants to see what kinds of kites we can buy to use in the competition. The bigger and prettier, the better.
Heck yeah, Paimon. Yeah, no, I love that.
Welcome.
I love that
Are
concept.
the two of you looking to buy a kite? Would you like me to go over the different designs?
Ooh, a scissor tail swallow! And a butterfly! And oh!
I love when Paimon gets excited. It's so nice.
This jade chamber design
So
is our
cool.
newest. It's been selling like crazy over the past 2 days.
Does it also have a unique meaning?
Of course.
The Jade Chamber symbolizes wealth and abundance. The kite bearing its design is said to bring riches in the future to those who fly
Oh,
it.
okay.
Oh, now that's Paimon's kind of kite.
We'll get 10 of those, please.
I apologize for the interruption, but are all your wares in order, Miss Xianyun?
Yes, they're just over there. The paper, bamboo, and dyes. All the necessary kite-making materials.
Wonderful. I'll pack them up and get a guard to deliver the goods to Yilong Wharf for you.
Yilong Wharf? Oh, wonder what that place is like during Lantern Rite. Paimon would love to go take a look.
Well, if the two of you are interested in going to Yilong Wharf, then could I trouble you to find Gaming and deliver these goods together?
Oh, here he comes.
Is Gaming the guard you just mentioned?
Gaming is someone who has stayed in my heart this entire year. I think he had such a massive impact. And like, I haven't seen as much cutscenes as you guys have of Gaming, but he's someone who has like imprinted himself onto my heart forever. And I think that like you guys would like the way people talk about him as well. I think everyone kind of agrees. He is a character that like just came like this year, and it was this year, right, when he came for Lantern Rite, and like literally like stole people's hearts. He stole my heart like instantly. And we didn't get to even like nearly finish his story as well in his Lantern Rite, so I'm glad that we're getting to go around and do this now. So glad.
Yes. The communications office handles shipments and transports around Liyue. He works for the Secure Transport Agency, one of our sub-organizations. The problem is, many of my colleagues have taken leave during Lantern Rite to spend time with their families. So our available workforce has seen a dramatic decrease
It's so nice to see
recently.
Gamin.
If you were willing to help out, then I could get a head start on my next appointment.
You do seem really pressed for time.
We'll help.
Oh, wonderful. You will, of course,
You're
be
allowed clap during the
compensated
Lantern
for
Rite.
your efforts. Now, at this time of day, Gaming should be somewhere in the vicinity. Just follow the main road until
my
you see
God.
the head of a Wushu dance costume. Should be on your right.
Be sure to come back if you'd like to buy a kite. I'll even give you a discount.
No need. We'll pay full price. They're so lovely.
Wait, I thought we had an agreement. Loser buys dim sum tomorrow? Look at you. Scowl like that for much longer and your face might stay that
The
way.
voice acting's so sweet
Hey
as
now,
well.
Don't be upset. How about this? You extend the invitation and I'll pay.
Such a sweetheart.
No way, Gaming. You're always the one picking up the tab.
Look at the perfect hair
I'm
as
not
well.
trying to be a sore loser. I just didn't expect you to come from behind to win like that.
That was
Oh
nothing.
my God.
All in a day's work,
He
friend.
is just like the essence of a sweetheart. Like the essence, the
Gamin
personification. Look it up in the dictionary and his face is just there. And his hair's so
Spoke to a
cool.
guy from the communications office who needs you to deliver some goods to Yilong Wharf.
Oh, that must have been Longzhou. Looks like I've got work. Gotta go.
It's just a
Sure,
perfect design
go
as
do your
well.
thing. Let's have a rematch when you get back. I won't let you win so easily next time.
The wave while right beside someone is hilarious.
Alrighty, you can hand the goods over to me. Must have been heavy hauling them all this way. Let me take them off your hands.
The voice acting for Gamin is so perfect because it has this like really sweet tone to the voice. But also like the dialogue goes so well with the voice. Like say like if someone says alrighty at the start of any conversation, I'm sorry, but like I'm already like, you know, overwhelmed with your sweetness. I really am. Also pay attention to the eyebrow hair combo as well of Gaming. It's perfect.
Wasn't that bad.
It's perfect.
Just some kite-making materials. Plus, we didn't have to walk very far.
Look at this now.
Kite-making materials. I see.
Look at the eyebrow, eye to
I'm
hair
glad it
combo.
wasn't too
All
much
this,
trouble,
it's
Paimon.
amazing.
Still, I owe you one. Ah, and you must be the traveler. It's nice to meet you. Thanks for your help.
The pleasure is literally all
You
us.
know us?
There probably aren't many in Liyue who don't. I've heard quite a bit about you two. You're quite well known around these parts.
Makes sense
Oh,
at this stage.
and please excuse Longzhou if he forgot to thank you. Take my thanks in his place.
You're too sweet.
He's a good guy. He's just been super busy lately, running around from place to place. Don't be too hard on him, yeah?
No worries.
So, you here for Lantern Rite?
Yep. It's always so lively this time of year. We were actually hoping we could tag along to Yilong Wharf and have a look around.
Perfect.
Oh,
we'll
perfect.
go together then. I'm good with directions, so just follow me. Trust me, I know my way around. We can exchange stories, tell jokes, or just chat along the way.
Someone asked.
Oh, and there are a couple of good places to eat along our route. We can stop and grab a bite when it's time.
Someone asked a question months
The
ago.
ingredients are fresh, the portions are generous, and the prices won't break the bank. You can order anything,
voice
and I
acting's
promise
perfect.
you won't be disappointed.
Order anything?
They asked if there was one character you could hang out with in this game forever, like you had to hang out with them every single day. And like, there's so many characters I would choose for this, but like, if you had to, like, you know, like, gun with a gun pointing at you, you had to pick one. Like, I really feel like, you know, someone who would like be very energetic, would also like has like so much respect and all this stuff, and like and also is like just a joy to be around, understands like all the best food places, you know, is well traveled, all these things, right? Like this perfect combination. Like I just said Gamin because I do think Gamin would be like this like perfect best friend, really.
Hey, did you really have to call Paimon out like that in front of our new friend?
And the laugh.
Don't worry, I understand. I joke around like that with my friends too. It just shows how close
There
you
you
are.
go.
Do you need to pack anything up before we hit the road? I can wait.
Nope, our things are always packed and ready. We're pretty much travel experts at this point.
Oh, that's right. Then let's get going. If we run into any trouble, you can count on me to protect
Beautiful.
you. I am
Beautiful.
a guard, after all.
Just a perfect design.
Seems like we really can't go anywhere without running into treasure hoarders, can we?
Yeah, it's not uncommon for deliveries to get intercepted. That's why this job needs guards like us.
Paimon was impressed by your moves back there. You seem like a real pro at your job.
Gab.
Oh, that's not a skill I learned on the job. It's just a hobby.
You're very good at it though.
Have you ever heard of wushu dancing?
Yeah. From you, I guess,
Really?
and also the mission we just
Wushu
did.
dancing is famous in Chunyu Vale. Performers might be invited to promote the opening of a business or to spread good fortune during a holiday season. But I must admit, it has nothing on the popularity of the Liyue Opera.
Of course, yeah.
I'm also well aware that people in Liyue Harbor aren't exactly jumping at the chance to watch wushu dancing. So it's not something I do full time.
And I think like it's like, you know, sometimes there's one thing that's like predominantly popular. When I say like of course, yeah, I'm not saying like, oh, like of course it's not as popular. Why would it be? It's more just a case of like the opera is like huge in Liyue. It's massive. While wushu dancing is probably very big in Xianyun Vale. But I feel like wushu dancing is like has a lot of like direct cultural and spiritual connection. Like it is like, you know, we talked about the wushu dance yesterday in a video we did when we went around Xianyun Vale and did a mission, you know?
Huh? You have 2 jobs? How do you have the energy to do
Yeah,
all
he is
that?
so energetic.
It's not that tiring. You just have to take a rest.
Oh, sweetheart.
Paimon gets it, so you must sleep a lot then.
Not really. Just yesterday, I stayed up all night playing
Common.
cards.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a big Yeah, big
Let's go. The docks are just up ahead.
So happy that we're here with Gamin again. I believe Gamin walks forward, exchanges a few words with the boatman. The docking station called everyone on board the bamboo raft. Yeah, his voice actor is actually like very talented.
We can rest. Ooh, Paimon's
Look at
shoulders are
this.
so stiff. And her stomach so empty.
Oh, we need some food from Paimon. We need some food right away.
Sorry. Did I push the pace a bit too much? I mean, you were the ones who said you were travel experts.
We did say we could handle it.
It's just too hilly.
Interesting.
Floating up and down so much. Where's Paimon out? Oh, Paimon was finally satisfied, and now her poor stomach's empty again.
Aw. Would you like some winter melon cake? I have some on me that I bought from a store.
Look,
Yes, Paimon will take all
and
you
this is
got.
why Paimon would love
You might want to
Gamin.
pace yourself there, or you'll be too full to eat a proper meal later.
And this is why he'd be a perfect party member as well, because like when Paimon's like, I'm hungry, he'll humor her every day. You know what I mean? He's just that much of a sweetheart. He will humor her every single day.
Paimon never gets too full. Just like you apparently never get
I love as well
tired,
that they talked
no
about
matter
the
how far you
difference
work
in
or how many
landscapes.
jobs you work.
Xianyun Vale is very hilly.
Ah, I see. Then here you go, Paimon. And for you, traveler. Enjoy.
Sweetheart, thank you so much.
And here's some for you too, Uncle
Oh my god,
Bosu.
look at him.
Don't think I forgot about you, my friend. I'll just set it to the side here for you.
Oh my god. He treats everyone like meat's like he's just the best. He's just the best.
That hit the spot. Paimon thought she was going to starve to death.
I
for a
just jump
minute
like a
there.
star.
That close of a call, huh? I've been eating wintermelon cake ever since I was a kid. You can buy them from all sorts of places, whether it's a small vendor on the side of the road or a big restaurant in the city. But each place produces cakes with a slightly different flavor. If you like these ones, I can give you the address of the shop I bought them from. I'll just have to check when we get back. Oh, all my jabbering must be making it difficult for you to enjoy the scenery in peace, huh? Don't be afraid to tell me to zip it for a little while.
Never.
Okay? Really. It won't be a
Never,
thing.
ever, ever, ever.
It's okay. Paimon is kind of enjoying listening to your chitter chatter.
Yeah, of course. And it's so nice when you meet someone for the first time that they are
Aw,
a big chatter.
Paimon is a happy Paimon, huh?
He gets it. He gets it.
Hey, Paimon could be in a good mood anytime she wants.
Yeah, but he means just like you're even happy when you're fed. But yeah, no, like I really feel like it's one of the best things ever having someone who can talk a lot, you know, and break the tension sometimes in conversations.
Woo, we're here.
Don't forget your things, and watch your step as you get off the raft, or you're in for a swim.
Such a beautiful place. We were here for some aspects again
Thanks for the ride, Uncle Bosu.
for the mission
You
yesterday.
take care of yourself now. I'll see you some other time. Okay, follow me. This way is fastest. We'll have to take the elevator up to the secure transport agency.
What a fantastic introduction to a character as well, showing us how like how much respect he has for the world, for people.
Oh,
Like instantly you get a
well,
vibe for who he is.
How should I put it?
Come on, spit it out.
Do you see that group of people over there?
Yes, okay.
Those are my relatives.
Oh, come on. Anytime, like, I don't know.
You sure
Like,
have a
I
big
don't like to
family.
see happy characters, like,
Once
feeling
they start
down.
buying things, they won't stop perusing till it gets dark. This is bad.
They're your family, not your arch enemies. What's there to be afraid of? Unless... Oh, did you do something horrible to them?
No, it's not that. I'm just not that good at dealing with my family. It would be best if we could steer clear of them. I'll explain more when we have the chance, but right now, we've got a job to do. Wow, you guys are good. I'm impressed.
That was nothing. It was a piece of
So there's a whole mission there, I believe, and I remember this mission so thoroughly. There's a whole mission where you have to, like, hide from his family.
winter melon cake to be exact.
You really liked it, huh? Ooh, you know what? I'll buy you a whole bunch and pile them so high you could swim in them.
As long as you don't wind up drowning, Paimon.
Hey, Uncle Drigway. These are my friends, the Traveler and Paimon. They came to deliver some goods with me. So, I guess I'll go ahead and take these over to Uncle Yongzan then?
Yes, thanks for your hard work. I should thank you both for your trouble as well. Please take a seat and rest for a bit. I'll prepare some tea.
No need. We'll be off soon anyway.
Hey, we're already here, aren't we? No harm in taking a load off for a bit. Plus, I know the Secure Transport Agency
Oh my
has some
God,
great
it's-
Songhua tea stashed around here somewhere.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, Gamin. Look at the eyebrow hair combo right now with the lashes. I need you to understand this with the beauty mark on the neck. This is a perfect design.
I promise you, one sip and you'll be hooked. Anyway, you just sit down and relax, Uncle Jirgway. Who would I be if I just sat here and let you go through all this trouble? Leave this to me. I have to be up and about to drop these goods off anyway. What's a little extra time on my
Such a hard worker as well.
You aren't too picky, right, Traveler? I know Paimon prefers things on the sweeter side, so I won't steep the tea too long. And I'll add some dim sum pastries on the side.
Aw, you noticed what Paimon likes?
Best friend ever. Legitimately, and then running.
How long have you two known Gami?
Literally like 10 minutes, I'd say.
Oh, not long at all. We just kind of tagged along.
We,
on
like,
his
met him
trip
an
to
hour
the
ago.
wharf. He's just a super welcoming guy. We became friends. You know, just like
Exactly. Exactly that.
That's just how he is. He's the attentive sort. Really knows how to look after his own. A while ago, one of our guards had to take off work. Said his joints were hurting due to the rain. Gaming personally went all the way to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get some medicine for him from Dr. Baiju, then traveled through the night to deliver it back to
Baiju
him.
mention as well. This
That
world
young
is so
man has such a
complete.
good
It
head
feels
on
so
his
full.
shoulders. How can anyone not love him? I mean, there is his dad, but
I eventually want to make it. Yeah, they're talking about his dad as well. Okay, I don't want to
Ask
interrupt this just
anyone
now because it's
else.
actually very important.
Uncle Yongzan says he doesn't have the personnel to spare for this delivery right now. So what do you think, Uncle Jirgwei? Should I go ahead and deliver it
Oh
instead?
my god.
it feels like we've troubled you enough already.
He's like, trouble me, please.
It's kite-making materials, though. Could be for a
Ah.
kid. I'm sure the sender wants it delivered before Lantern Rite. Oh, by the way, here, have some tea.
Sweetheart. Yeah, no,
All right, then.
before we go any further with this, like, the thing that, like, is, I remember when I said this, like, early in Genshin, I think after I got to, like, past Liyue, and I remember I said this world feels so full, how they use their characters, how they bring up characters from other stories and, like, other story quests, and it just makes the world feel so full. And I think a few times, like, you know, randomly, like, I would say this, you know, just because I truly believe this, and I love that the game just keeps proving that point, that it does feel so real and full. You could, like, if given the time, like, and if you could see all the references they make, and, like, people might not see it as a big deal. To me, it's not about being a big deal. It's about being important. The fact that they mention Baiju, the fact that they mention other characters that makes sense. I say this all the time. Like, of course, if you're mentioning medicine, Baiju will come into the story in Liyue, right? If you're mentioning fireworks, of course you're going to think of Yoimiya. You know, all this. It's so freaking interesting the way they do this. The world is always, like, remembered. Every character is remembered, even in passing.
Deliver it if you want to.
Ooh, are you free in 2 days? How about we grab some dim sum from Xianyun kiosk? My treat, and don't even think about trying
No,
to
my
pay.
treat. I'll treat you.
Whoa, that's way too generous of you.
Don't mention it. Just think of this as a thank you for all your help. Besides, the thing between me and my family, it's a long story. It might take some time to tell.
It's okay.
Sounds good. Paimon never says no.
We're always
to
there to
food.
listen.
All right, then I'm off. See you in 2 days. Oh, and Paimon, make sure not to eat too much before then. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Is he underestimating Paimon? She's just gonna have to show him how much she can really eat.
Yeah, fine, but you eat whatever you
Anyway,
want.
is Gaming's family situation really that complicated? He has such a happy-go-lucky personality. Plus, he's an enthusiastic and diligent worker. It's hard to imagine a guy like that being troubled by much.
How should I put it? Since he already plans to tell you himself, you don't need an old man like me to add my 2 cents. You seem to be around the same age, so you might have a lot in common. Perhaps you could help him talk things through. Consider it a favor to me.
I'll try.
If you have the time, maybe you can make a little flag for us to wave about. It can say, "We provide aid in space." Couldn't hurt to advertise our services,
I think
right?
everyone knows about our services as well, though, at this stage,
I
right?
can certainly arrange that. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Wait, seriously? Paimon was just joking. But if you're going to get us something, she'd much rather have winter melon cake instead.
This is what I'm so excited about first, like, events as well.
Seems like
Like the really
Gaming
fun
really
aspects,
has
like the
rubbed
really
off on
sweet
you.
aspects, you know?
Would you like some more tea? I think there's some left.
No thanks. We came all this way and still haven't gotten a chance to look around the wharf. We should see the kinds of kites they got. Maybe they'll have ones you can't find in Liyue Harbor.
It's not a bad idea.
All right, then. Please do let me know if you'd like more tea. You're welcome to stay as long as you like.
Yeah, this whole thing is awesome. I remember that we didn't... Yes, okay, I was saying, because I remember, like, the next thing we did was, like, we went to see Gammon again, because this, again, is one of the things that, like, I had to, like, look at the thing here, the number in the bottom right corner, and just literally skip through things with the volume on low. You can even go back to the playthrough and see it actually happens that way, but at this point, this was Xianyun, which is, or Xianyun, yeah, which is so freaking interesting now that, like, back then, I would have probably knew that they were, if I didn't skip the dialogue, I would have known that they were Cloud Retainer. I would have known all this stuff. So again, it's just like so like, to me, I'm so happy that I stuck to my guns with that stuff. I'm so happy.
What are you doing here?
The way you speak.
Oh my god.
One might have presumed you were displeased to be in one's presence.
And the fact that you get to meet her after this as well.
Take note, Paimon. You could learn a thing or two about how to respect your elders.
Ugh, starting on the elder stuff already, huh? Shouldn't you be back in your cave tinkering away at some kite-related thingamabob or something? What brings you out here? And what's with that huge box next to you? Ah! Paimon gets it. You're here to do some shopping, aren't you?
That would be nice. It would be nice, right?
And what of it? The Keqing's decision to integrate Fontanian technology into said kite-flying competition is of no consequence to oneself.
I don't think we said anything about that.
Did you expect one to willfully compete against the whimsical trends of worldly sentiment? Or perhaps even fall to petty sulking over such?
I mean, I thought you'd be, like, competitive at least.
It's
I guess I was wrong.
those things exactly. That's just what Mountain Shaper and Mooncarver told us. Or Chia something and Ho. Paimon can't be bothered to remember what their aliases were called.
Paimon's like in a constant state of like, I can't be bothered sometimes though.
To look for you.
Actually, you know what? It's so funny. Paimon goes from like, I can't be bothered to this is the worst day of my life in the space of 2 seconds usually.
And asked us to pass along their regards if we ran into you.
Oh, huh.
Xianyun?
Xianyun. Did she forget about them? Wait, what?
It
appears
time has quite flown since one's arrival in Liyue Harbor. How could one have forgotten about those 2 old fossils?
Is it because she's integrating with the humans now?
One shall have to bring them back some divine herbs to atone for this slight. Nay, given that one has ventured all this way to Yilong Wharf, tea would be more advisable.
The idea that like...
A great thought has illuminated one's mind once again. One is reminded that certain purchases have yet to be made.
But the idea that, like, it's such a normal idea. The idea that you move on with your life and you have a new life, and then you forget about, like, some people from before, and you're like, oh my god, man, I haven't texted this person in a while, you know? And it can, like, I think it's happened to every one of us at some stage, and then we have to, like, rectify that mistake, you know what I mean?
Perhaps you two could wait here whilst one performs this task. It'll be but a moment.
Because, like, the thing is, like, and Mooncarver and Shaper aren't, like, seeing this as a bad thing. They're just obviously, like, want to care about her.
You really just gonna ditch us here to watch your stuff?
Because she came here for her kids, you know? She wanted to see what her kids loved about this place. She does. Let me go see what she's up to. Yeah.
Hey, not you too, Traveler! Oh, all this Paimon ditching
Oh,
is
Paimon, I'm so sorry.
appreciated.
So sorry.
Just come back soon, okay? Paimon doesn't want anyone to try and steal his stuff.
Welcome. Please have a look around. We only sell teas of the finest quality, sourced directly from Xianyun village. Might I recommend the Sunglo variety? It's one of our specialties.
But what you'll find as well, whilst Mooncarver and Shaper were thinking about Xianyun as well, a lot of people are just like, you know, because everyone moves on in their lives, everyone goes to different stages of their lives. It makes so much sense that she would like not talk to them in a while, especially when she came here for her daughters. So like, I think it's such an interesting way of doing things, because I feel like I said, I feel like even like when we were like, for more me when I was like maybe like a teenager going to a different school or something, and you're like, man, I haven't texted that guy in a while, and you're like, oh hey, how's everything going? And you're like, and they're like, oh my god, hey, you know, how are you doing? You know, it just happens. Sometimes you just like lose touch with people sometimes.
Now that sounds promising. One will bring some back for those.
She's very considerate though, right?
And all will be well.
More considerate than you ever could
2
think.
boxes will do.
Wonderful. By the way, we're actually running a special Lantern Rite promotion. Buy 3 boxes, get 10% off. 4 boxes will net you 20% off.
What a deal.
20% off 4 boxes. This merchant strikes a fair bargain. One might as well give some to Morax and Ping too. Then 4 shall suffice.
I see. Are you intending to give these as gifts? If so, perhaps I can interest you in these exquisite gift sets. Buy 10,
Oh, she's
get
being
half
sold
off.
everything
Look
here.
at the magnificent design. And the red ribbon gives quite the festive flair, don't you think? Such a gift would be sure to impress any lucky friend or family member.
10 boxes. Seems rather excessive. But if one factors in the conqueror of demons and one's disciples...
Oh my god, she's thinking about everyone. She is the grandmother on
10,
Christmas.
Nice round number, don't you think? Of course you do. I'll even shave a little extra off the price for you.
Boy, you better sell her actually some good stuff.
One will, I will have these boxed up then.
Of course, of course.
I know he's
right
gonna
away.
see her as well coming. Or maybe he's gonna help.
I see you have quite the eye for fine
No.
items, mademoiselle. Perhaps some of my wares might also
You
be
don't
of
need a
interest
giant
to you.
typewriter. That's for giants. That's for Toma.
I'm a
He's the only
toy
one tall enough
merchant
to
from
use that.
Fontaine. You'll get nothing but the finest and most intricate clockwork toys Mora can buy here. Each one sure to be a source of endless amusement.
Oh, I actually love her
Perhaps
so
you
much
could
now.
enlighten me then. When should said amusement be derived?
Whence? Yes, whence, sir?
Well, that is, of course, best understood by playing with them yourself. If you could wait just a moment, I can bring one out and give you a demonstration.
Oh. Because they are perceptive, but it seems like, you know, like they are like adapting to life more here
There is no need for that.
in
Mademoiselle.
Give me your newest and finest model, and be sure to package it securely.
Ah, of course. Here you go. The instruction manual is...
Still looking out for
I
who's
can
watching.
do without. Thank you. Oh, many watchful eyes surround this place. If one were to be spotted purchasing a mechanical toy such as this, a child's plaything no less, it would only invite
Because she
scandal.
makes her own toys even for
There is
her
no
like
harm in
kids.
bringing it back to study in secret.
You know what I mean? She even makes toys for her kids. She's done that in the past in her own story. I should head back for Xianyun notices. Yeah, so cool. So freaking cool. It's crazy that I saw the Cloud Retainer all the way back then, but didn't even know who it was, you know?
Oh, Xianyun, did your shopping go smoothly?
Naturally. One may not delight in social interactions, but that does not mean one lacks said faculties.
Easy swaying to buying things. The box fit looks like it looks already fit to burst.
And you two? Are you not here to purchase things?
We just haven't had time yet. It doesn't look like there are any kite stalls around Elong Wharf, but it does look like there are lots of goods from Fontaine.
You are also planning to participate in the kite flying competition, then? One means to say, you along with all the other youths. One has been entreated to share one's kite-making expertise, and indeed, there was little one could do about such persistent supplication. One moment energetic and earnest, and dejected the next. One had no choice but to acquiesce to these requests, and thus, one will be organizing a kite-making workshop to provide personal
That's really nice.
instruction in this art form.
And who could be better?
Oh, who will be participating then?
Shuyu, Shenhe, Ganyu, and Yayo.
Wow, that's
That
quite a
is
few people.
that is a dream like class, right?
Also, this is
Lovely
all pretty
characters.
Well, Xianyun, but it's not like you have to make your own kite to participate in the competition. You can just buy one ready-made and call it a day.
That's not in her nature.
You speak of those equipped with the mechanical lifting device.
There it is.
do you
There it is.
not?
Okay.
Tis nothing but a crude
Yep.
piece of
I
modern
knew it.
machinery.
I'm so glad, yeah, because
The
like at least keeps up her
mechanism
character,
that one
right?
has developed was the fruit of millennia of meticulous study. Let us not speak of the source of the mechanism's power, but rather its structure. It is composed of materials as light as bamboo and as strong as iron. This composition grants it the lightness of weight to ascend into the sky and the durability to follow the wind for many a mile. It is built with a series of intersecting rods that...
She knows so much.
Never mind. It is unlikely the two of you will understand, even should one expend the effort to explain. One is better off saving one's breath.
It sure seems like you want to talk about it, though.
Yeah, no, it's her interest. It's the stuff that really interests her.
So, will you be attending the workshop?
But she's so proud she doesn't want to like act like she wants to talk about it, you know what I mean? But it's like, man, I'd love to hear her talk about it. It's so interesting. Like that's one of my favorite things is hearing someone talk about something that they're super passionate about, you know?
Or not.
Huh? Wait, you've been trying to invite us this entire time?
That's their way of doing it.
Then. No need to prepare the materials in any case. One has it all sorted.
Nice.
Arrive at Mount Outsong in 2 days. I shall be expecting you around midday.
Are you leaving? Don't you want a guard to help you with that big box of yours?
Surely you jest. One goes as one pleases. For what reason would one need to rely on another?
It can float? What kind of invention is that?
She's
One
actually really
calls
good
it
at this stuff.
the floating toting device.
Floating toting. Yeah, I love the interaction because again, it just shows like why Xianyun's such like a three-dimensional character, right? So like and one of the things that I've said before is like one of the best character traits you can have. And I didn't make up this, by the way. This is something I learned from like reading this like writer's book a while back, and I always like just adapted it to my like everything I think about when I think about characters, because it's kind of true. Really strong characters are people that say one thing but do another thing, that do the opposite of what they say, because that makes them complicated and makes them interesting, right? Xianyun's like, I don't care about some mechanical device. Why would I even care about that? Who even think? Do you expect me to care about that? But then they spend like nearly like the whole conversation talking about some mechanical device, you know? It's like, yeah, they said that they don't care, but they're showing that they do care. It shows that they have like these complications in them. They're trying to fight some aspects of their own personality. And while it sounds like, oh, it's not that serious, Cal, but I just think it is in a way where it's like the small details about a character's character is what makes them full, you know?
Huh. She seems pretty proud of that one. Look at her walk down the street. She seems so confident. But everyone around her is looking at her.
It's a great invention. Like, it is a really great invention.
Never mind. But anyway, that box of hers seems to be full of those mechanical lifty thingamabobs.
Yeah?
Not that Paimon was peeking or anything. She just, got a bit unsteady for a second and accidentally brushed the embroidery on top.
Accidentally?
And wouldn't you know it, all the stuff inside almost came bursting out. Paimon even went out of her way to keep it all together.
Good, Paimon. You're so good.
Paimon saying is that Xianyun sure does try hard to save face.
Yeah?
What did she call it again? A crude piece of mortal machinery? Paimon bet she just can't wait to take it apart and see how it's made. Totally. We should probably act like we didn't see anything, though. You know, in consideration of her feelings.
100, Paimon, you're 110% right.
That is the propriety with which one should comport oneself when it comes to an elder, right?
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, because I think that what Paimon's saying there is so true. It's like, yes, this is like a quote unquote like flaw in a character, but I don't see it as like flaws as bad things, you know what I mean? Because it makes people more complicated, right? And like for me with Shadow, like it's such a funny aspect of their character where they're so competitive and we love them for it. And we're not going to embarrass them about it either, you know? She's going to get better at eventing by looking at the Fontanian inventions. And she's going to be even better than what she was before. And if she wants to do it in secret, that's her business as well. You know, and Paimon's right. Let's not like embarrass her about anything. Let's just let her do it.
Oh, you're here early.
Oh my god.
I just ordered. The food should be out in a second. Sit down.
This is the last cutscene that I ever saw from this Lantern Rite, by the way.
Here, hand me your cups.
The only cutscenes I actually saw were the first 3 Goblin ones: the boat, the dinner, the cafe. The 4 Goblin ones. This one, the boat, and the tea. So after this, it's like everything is just brand new for me.
Oh, thank you.
Everything. What's the?
Wait, you weren't supposed to drink that, Paimon. That was for you to rinse your utensils.
His face is like,
That's a thing.
It sounds so nice. It sounds so nice. Oh my god.
Wow, so much delicious food. Do you really eat all this just for breakfast?
Can you bring him back and do another mission with him?
That's how we do it where I'm from.
Genshin, please.
Most of the time, though, I don't eat lunch after dim sum.
Oh, that's good to hear. Paimon doesn't need to worry about holding back then.
Oh, look, at Paimon with the shrimp as well.
Eat. If it's not enough, we can always order more. Oh, and there's tong soy coming as well. I don't usually have that in the morning, but, well, since everyone's here, I just had to order it.
Thank you so
What
much
about
for
you,
sharing
traveler?
this with us.
Is the food to your liking? Want some more seafood congee? Let me refill your bowl.
You're so kind.
Paimon's gonna take you up on that. Fill it up nice and full and make sure she gets a
Everyone picks up their chopsticks and begins to dig in. So yeah, they have a conversation over the meal until Paimon can't even eat another bite.
So full.
Oh,
That
she's
meal
so
was
happy.
so satisfying. It even gave Paimon some extra brain juice.
Heck yeah.
Oh, listen. Paimon's figured it out. Let's think about this for a second, Gaming. You invited us to this awesome restaurant and ordered a whole table full of expensive dim sum just for the 3 of us. Well, you must be hiding the fact that you're some young master from a rich family.
Interesting assumption to make about someone, right?
Keep your friends and family away from each other.
I feel like, he will tell us.
Are you confusing me with Xingqiu?
Oh, it's Xingqiu. You know Xingqiu.
Huh? You know Xingqiu? You sure know a lot of people.
Well, when you're on the road as much as I am, you hear all sorts of rumors. Sometimes they're true, sometimes they're not. What it comes down to is being able to tell the difference.
Heck yeah.
More often than not, that means knocking on some doors to find out for yourself.
And of course he would do that. He'd do it on his lunch break. Hey, I heard about this guy called
You
Xingqiu.
are a man of many talents, young Master Gaming.
He is.
Okay, enough with the teasing. Sorry to burst your bubble, Paimon, but you're wrong about my family situation.
And this is another reason why he's just like a very kind person, is like the fact that like Paimon is a very forward character. We know Paimon is like, factually so Paimon is just like very forward. They just say stuff and ask questions and go forward with stuff like that. What's incredibly interesting to me though about Gamin is that like, and a few other characters as well, because like a lot of characters understand. But Gamin is just such a sweetheart that he turned it into kind of like a very like a camaraderie style joke with Paimon as well. Like sorry to burst your bubble, you talk about Xingqiu, because it can be a personal thing, but he's not offended because he loves having conversations. He loves learning about people. He loves learning about things. So of course he's like, probably would love the idea of, not love the idea, but like he's probably open to share as well. It's really, really sweet.
What? Oh, Paimon thought she was onto something there.
My dad is just an ordinary tea merchant. Small scale stuff, It wouldn't even make sense to mention his business in the same breath as the Xianyun Commerce Guild. My dad, he always wanted me to inherit the family business, to be a merchant like him. But that's just not who I am.
Right.
It's not who I ever wanted to be.
Gaming also, so having Carefree, this most serious I've ever seen him, this probably is very important to him, of course, yeah.
Have you ever talked to him about it? About your interests and aspirations and stuff.
Of course I have. I told him I wanted to be a wushu dancer. That
And
I
we
wanted
want you to be
all
one
of Teyvat
too.
to see what I could do. According to my dad, though, that wasn't a real job. Just a child's pipe dream.
No, it's a real job. It can
Terrible.
be. Obviously, he said it's not as
thought I would
popular as
come
the
around
opera.
Eventually, but wushu dancing has always been the only thing I wanted to do.
And we know he has such a passion for it.
One day, he tried to get me to visit some other tea merchants to start building the right relationships, but I refused to go. We got into a huge fight. We were this close to throwing hands.
Wow.
In the end, I was so angry that I ran away from home. I haven't been back since.
And again, this is another thing where it's like with Gaming, it's like, yes, he's the nicest, kindest, hardworking, most like polite person you've ever met. But again, it just goes to show like how good the writing can be for characters in Genshin. Is like, even though you have all this stuff, like he can fight. He's a bodyguard. Of course he's able to fight. Like it's, and you can't forget that stuff. And like also he was willing to like fight for his own dreams against his own father. Which means that there is like as there should be with anybody, there is a limit to, people's politeness, you can't just be polite to everybody. You have to like respect yourself as well,
Don't get on my case just yet, okay? It's not like I think I'm completely without fault. No, I know that it wasn't the right way to go about things. But my dad's stubborn.
It's passion.
No matter how hard I tried to convince him, it just went in one ear and out the other. There was no changing his mind.
And that could be so frustrating. Oh, I can only imagine how frustrating
I
that
knew
is.
talking would only get me so far, but if I made it big in Liyue Harbor, the results could speak for themselves.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. It's a really hard story to even hear.
I'm sure you both already know how that's going. Wushu dancing's just not that big in Liyue Harbor.
And it should, because he's so good at
In the
it.
past, I would go door to door from store to store, asking if they would be interested in hiring a performer.
Oh my god.
Most times, I wound up eating nothing but humble pie. And you can't just rely on dreams to put food on the table, right? So, I found a job as a guard to make some money. And now I have enough to get by and then some.
Which I'm so happy for you.
Change takes time. Gotta take it slow, you know?
Yeah.
Paimon understands.
Yeah. And like, it's just like, you know, he already breaks my heart. He's just that type of character I just love dearly. Like, and just the image of him going door to door and being like, hey, do you want to hire a wushu dancer? And then probably being like, yeah, no, sorry, we don't need a wushu dancer. And then him having to like go off then and like, do his guard job, which he's very good at. And like thinking about how no one wanted to hire him that day. Oh, it breaks my heart.
Okay, enough of all that serious talk. Our tea's getting cold. Ooh, let's do something fun this afternoon. What do you say, huh? I'll organize.
Actually, we kinda already have plans this afternoon. We told Xianyun that we would go to her kite-making workshop.
Yeah.
Oh?
Are you interested in kite-making, Gaming?
Oh, Gamin, you should come.
Oh, no. It's just that I happen to know Auntie Xianyun.
Auntie! I forgot
That
entirely.
title
I didn't
certainly
even
humanizes her a bit.
remember him calling her auntie
I know
at
that
all.
She's an adeptus. I met her during a delivery once. But hasn't she been in the city lately? She's even tried, with some limited success, to change her terms of self-address or something like that. She came to see me a few days ago to ask about luminescent dyes. Oh, wait a second. She doesn't plan on putting those on a kite, does she?
Will that be bad?
Is that not something you can do?
It's one thing to use it on cloth, but applying it to paper is another matter entirely. Why couldn't she tell me what she wanted them for?
Yeah, she does seem to have trouble with that sometimes.
It would be such a shame if everyone worked so hard on their kites only for them to get ruined in the end. Okay, I'll go with you.
Nice.
If Auntie Xianyun wants to use those dyes on a kite, the formula will need to be changed.
Great! The more the merrier!
Everything from this moment on now, right? Yeah, everything from this point on is like all the stuff here. I didn't remember absolutely everything about this, of course. Oh my god, it's gone, you had yo-yo! But like everything from this point on is completely new, like brand spanking new.
Come on, wake up! Some
And
friends
shed
have
her.
arrived.
Hello.
What a crew, honestly. She's tired. Oh, Ganyu, please get some rest.
Ganyu!
Oh, I have some mint oil. Perhaps we should try that.
Oh, is it a headache?
A guest at Wanmin restaurant recommended it to me. I've tried it. Its stimulative
It might be a
effects
headache,
are much
actually.
stronger than what can be achieved from chewing on mint leaves alone.
So good to see you, Shenna. Or she's just tired. Let her have a nap. Just let her have a nap. Put her under a trees for a bit, please. Let her have a nap. And she's doing this for her mother, of course. You know, that's why she's at this workshop.
Apologies in advance.
Huh?
Wait! Shenhe?
Not there. What? Shannon takes a small green ball and extracts some minty liquid and applies it to Ganyu's horns. Yang and Pime look in shock and mouth the gate, but cannot stop her in time. What the? I mean...
See? It worked. She's
okay,
awake.
I guess it worked, but...
Are you okay, Ganyu?
That's sisters for you,
Do
right?
you need some water? Or maybe something to eat?
Everyone's like, don't do that. And the sister's like, I know my sister.
I just feel chilly all over.
Oh, that... Oh. Would you rather be tired or cold, guys?
Was it that effective?
Probably tired.
Chilly, huh? Master always says a cool head leads to a calm heart. So, does this mean that heat's what we need to help you, Ganyu? Paimon doesn't think that's what the expression means
Maybe
exactly.
not. It's so cool seeing them all again.
I feel a bit better now. Was I asleep? Must have been around the time I usually take my midday nap.
Yeah, and again, like I say this all the time, I love getting back to the characters that we love so dearly. You know what I mean? Like seeing them again in a whole new like space. It means the world to me that we keep calling back to these characters.
Did you not sleep last night? That does seem to happen to you often. Perhaps you should come work at Wanmin Restaurant with me. We get off at 10 on the dot every night without fail.
She's saying, hey, come work on my job so you can actually get some rest. Because like, again, it's like, when I don't have to bring my work home, she's saying basically. I literally, when we're finished, I'm done. And Shen has the right attitude, honestly, with like a job, you know, 'cause, like, it depends on your job, of course. But like, she's like, once I'm finished, I'm done. I can just imagine her like, it's like time to get off work, and her boss is like, hey, Shenna, can you oh, she's gone. she is gone.
I could never. I'm sorry. I seem to have missed your name. You are...
I thought she was talking to Shenna for a second.
Me? My name is Gaming. I work as a guard for the secure transport
You're gonna
agency.
love this guy.
Gaming. The name sounds familiar. I believe I've heard your name mentioned around the Ministry of Civil Affairs. People tell me you're an extremely enthusiastic worker, and you are very generous with your help.
Well, you know me. Or, I guess you don't.
Very normal,
My
like,
name is
awkward
Ganyu.
introduction, right?
This is Shenhe, and this is Yao Yao.
It's an honor to finally meet you all.
And that is interesting. Like Ganyu, like I perceive Ganyu as someone who's able to like have a conversation with anyone, and he was kind of stumped there because the first ever introduction of himself to this character was them praising him, and he kind of took a step back. You know, he's so used to like being the one that's always like, oh, you know, this looks great. Like, let me get you this. Let me do this for you. Like someone praises him, and he's like stepping back a little, going, I guess, yeah. You know, it's really interesting.
Oh, you must be here for
We're talking about 3
Xianyun's
dimensions
kite-making workshop.
of characters.
Yes. I
There's our
have
girl,
neither
Shen, huh?
made nor flown a kite before. As long as Master is willing to teach, I am willing to learn.
Me too. I want to participate in the kite flying competition with my best friend. Plus, it's more meaningful if you make the kite yourself, right? Your best friend didn't come with you? Well, Chi-Chi's been super busy helping Dr. Baiju lately. I'll meet up with her later and give her a huge surprise. Oh, I also brought bandages and ointment with me today. It's easy to cut yourself when working with bamboo, so I thought I should come prepared.
Thank you, Yao Yao.
Wow, you're really thoughtful.
As for myself, I'm afraid I lack some of my companion's enthusiasm.
Yeah?
I was originally planning to buy a ready-made kite and just enjoy the festive city atmosphere.
Well, there's nothing wrong with
everyone.
that. There's definitely nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
But Cloud Retainer is always going out of her way to look after her juniors.
Yeah.
Wanting us to have the best there is. She always puts us before herself.
Yeah. This is Uncommons already touched
so
by this.
Thoughtful of her to arrange this workshop.
Yeah.
So I simply couldn't let such consideration go to waste.
This is also a very like common thing when like you kind of like, you know, separate yourself, I guess, from your parents, or like when even like, you know, you don't even have to be separate from your parents. It's kind of that thing where it's like, you know, and it's not like it's a bad thing. It's like you like, but like sometimes, you know, you do have to do your own thing, I suppose. But it's like yeah, every year, like it's like a tradition where it's like every year our mother does this, and it's like we're not really like too enthusiastic about it, but it really makes her happy. You know what I mean? Like that kind of way.
Motivation for being here might be a little different, yes. But I'm ready to put in just as much effort as everyone
Of course,
else.
Miss Effort herself.
We're all here, but where the heck is Xianyun? Shouldn't she be here by now?
Who is it that speaks of oneself in such an ill-tempered tone?
Is that Xianyun as well?
Come on, you clearly heard Paimon. Master stopped to buy grilled tigerfish to share with everyone. Come get it while it's still warm.
I keep pausing, but that's another great line from Xianyun, which is basically just like, who dares speak about this? It's like, of course she knows it's Paimon, but like she still, it's just her vocabulary, it's the way she speaks.
Oh, Paimon, sorry, Miss Illuminated Bird. Paimon always knew you were the smartest, coolest, and prettiest adeptus. Someone as wonderful as you is sure to have brought it up for Paimon as well.
When food comes into question. Clara turns sets down her bags while Shui hands out the grilled fish as everyone begins to talk. A lively conversation feels a tranquil vibe. That sounds so nice. Imagine eating fish on Mount Aoshang.
Delicious.
Oh my god.
Life is complete.
It appears that we've ended up
It's so
with
cool
quite
seeing
a few-
Shuyu as well, right? I'll skip it back a little bit because I don't want to interrupt the dialogue coming up here. But like, it's so cool seeing Shuyu as well. Like all these characters from previous story missions and previous you know, events. And like this is like again, like I said, this is why I stand by like not doing that event all the way back then, you know? Like, because I really feel like I wouldn't even know who Shuyu is. It would have no significance. But now I'm looking at Shuyu, and it's like, I know everything that Shuyu went through, and that Shuyu is like the new daughter as well. It's like so, like, you have, there's an impact to every character now, because I know them all personally now. I know every one of these characters personally. To some extent, lesser than others, like Xianyun and Yaoya, we don't know as well as Ganyu or Shenhe. And then we know probably Xianyun then after that in that order, I guess, you know?
So delicious. Paimon's life is complete.
Heck yeah.
It appears that we've ended up with quite a few participants indeed. Go ahead and divide yourselves into small groups. The materials are over here. The regular dyes and luminescent ones have been clearly marked. Use them as you see
Gaming
fit.
has something to say about that, though.
As for how to make the kite, one assumes you all made sure to listen to the instructions one provided while we were eating.
You did it while they were
Yes?
eating?
Are there any questions?
Paimon may have focused a little too hard on the
Yeah, I
eating
probably
and
would
less on
too.
the listening.
I'll be the one making rain, you can just help
Paimon
out.
knew she could count on you, traveler.
Always, always.
One will wait under this tree and avail oneself of the cool air while one digests. Do not hesitate to seek one's company if you have any trouble, questions, or simply want to chat.
And the thing is, well, about the thing I said earlier where they didn't want to disappoint Xianyun, this isn't just like a mother that they feel indebted to just because, like, oh, she raised them, which is a big deal anyway. But, like, she goes out of her way to make sure they're all safe, that they have the best of stuff. When we were upset, she sat us down and basically was like one of the first people to say to us, I understand. You know what I mean? I understand where your journey has taken you. I understand. So, like, I do feel like it's not uncommon or, like, weird for these characters to want to give her something back. And if giving something back is making her feel like her event here is super important to everybody, then I feel like that is, like, such a kind thing for Ganyu to do as well. You know, even though she's not perfectly enthusiastic about it.
We're not in any hurry to get started. Why don't we go see what the others are up to?
And it's not about, like, oh, you have to be in debt to someone. That's not what we're saying whatsoever, right?
Retainer, look! Am I doing
It's
it
more
right?
just like, I think it's lovely what she's doing.
Very good.
Well done,
Your
Yaoya.
frame is nice and sturdy. This design, is it a finch?
Yep.
Yaoya doing a whistle?
One is looking forward to seeing your finished
Oh,
product.
Xianyun, she's such a good mother.
What color are you going to make it, Yao Yao?
Perfect mother.
I haven't decided yet. If I make it blue, it'll be more like my friend. But if I make it gold, it'll be more like me.
That's nice. She associates herself with gold.
If you are asking for one's own opinion, one would advise choosing gold. When giving a gift, the key consideration is the recipient's feelings, is it not? One imagines your friend would much prefer a kite that reminds them of you.
So sweet.
Oh, hey, I never told you the kite was for Chi-Chi. How did you know?
Oh my god. Chi-Chi getting a kite off Yao
With
Yao.
age comes wisdom, child. One simply has a way of knowing things.
So sweet.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Auntie Cloud Retainer. I'm gonna start painting it gold right now.
Good. One will watch. You two seem strangely unoccupied. One was under the impression that one was supposed to be doing the relaxing. Is your kite finished?
Very,
Actually, haven't
beautifully
started
sarcastic
yet.
way of putting
We're
it.
going to start, right now.
I thought I was the only one that was supposed to be relaxing.
Hey, Keqing, want to team up?
Oh, shoot you.
I have to participate? I thought I'd be done for the day after adjusting the die formula.
He adjusted the die. Great. Okay.
You're that unenthused by kite-making, huh? That doesn't seem like you.
No, it's not that. It's just... it would take too long to explain. I guess I'll just make one then. What shape should we go
Hello.
with?
That's like that's so Gamin. Okay, it's gonna
How
take.
about a
I'll just do it.
butterfly?
Symbolizes desire for freedom. Perhaps that's also what Gaming is searching for. Maybe.
What do you think, Xiyu? Is there a particular design you want?
I want a Swanee.
A Swanee.
That might be a little hard to pull off.
True, but I still want to try. They're super cute.
I'm so glad she's happy. I'm so glad she's has
it's
such a
decided.
smile. And if you're gonna team up with someone to like be happy,
Shenhe, it would
Garmin
be
is
great
there.
if you could refrain from putting things on my horns from now on. They're really quite sensitive.
I see. My apologies.
oh my god,
I shall remember that in the future.
healthiest sibling relationship I've ever seen in my life.
No harm done.
Healthiest
Good.
oh my god. Can you imagine having this conversation at Christmas
Could
dinner?
I touch them just once more, though? No oil or anything this time. I've
Oh.
just always wondered what Miss Ganyu's horns feel like.
Huh? Please, I told you. Just call me Ganyu. Well, all right.
I imagine they're like
Firm
rocks.
to the touch with no discernible temperature. Oh, not unlike certain medicinal plants I've eaten before.
Oh, so it's like they're softer.
Still, Ganyu appears to be shaking like a cat whose whiskers have just been touched. I should stop.
Such an interesting such an interesting
I
scene.
see.
Shen
Then
has
I'll apply the
curiosity.
oil to your forehead next time.
Oh, no need. I'll just refrain from taking afternoon naps outdoors. Anyway, we should probably get started on our kite. It won't be long before Cloud Retainer comes to check on our progress.
Yeah.
Perhaps
Get it done.
we should just choose the most traditional style.
Okay.
Well, they seem to be getting along swimmingly.
Yeah, no, it's actually like a very healthy conversation where it's like, hey, could you not do that in future? And it's like, yeah, sure, I'll put on your forehead. Oh no, you don't need to do that anymore. Okay, that's fine. The obvious guy's just making a Paimon-shaped kite?
Oh, that's not a completely crazy
That'd be so
idea.
fun.
If nothing else, a Paimon-shaped kite could at least make sure you never get lost on your travels and always find the tastiest food and funnest things to do wherever you go.
Heck yeah, I agree.
Maybe we're not exercising enough artistic license. Ooh, we should exaggerate this a bit. How about this? The word Paimon means the guardian angel of travelers.
Yes! 110%. You build the kite's frame according to Cloud Retainer. It's actually gonna be a Paimon. Oh my god! That's so cool.
Now, what expression should we give her? Since the kite is going to be flying super high
Smiling,
in the sky.
Gaming and Xianyun still thinking in the background. Pleased with herself? She's looking for... Yeah, for sure. Let's go.
Ooh, like this? Ooh. The title of champion kite flyer is mine.
I love her so much. That's the one. That is the one.
Now that we've decided, let's make it happen.
I love it. Paimon deserves this as well. To have her own kite. Show me. Making a kite, like, what a bonding situation as well. Even though we're already bonded for life.
Done. Paimon has to say, Kite Paimon might even rival real Paimon in terms
Nothing
of
could ever.
cuteness.
Nothing could ever.
Now we just have to attach the string, right?
All right, gather around, everyone.
I think it's so adorable that Xianyun wanted to go with Gamin, like, because he has the personality, right? Like, it's such a pleasant personality that you wouldn't even feel afraid around him. Very, very sweet. And he called Xianyun auntie, so there is a possibility that she already knows him as well. There is a possibility.
Wow.
Oh my dear lord!
Shenhe made a scissor-tailed swallow.
Look at Gamin's one.
Pretty. Yep. The color
This is so
makes it look a
cool.
lot like Master. If the tail wasn't split in two like that, it might even be a spitting image.
Look at how happy Xianyun is. And they made that together. Look at the two sisters together. Look what we made. Look, Mom, look what we made. And then, like, Yao, I made something. Like, this is just so sweet. It's so freaking sweet.
If you look closely, there are a few spots where the colors go outside the lines. Did you doze off while painting?
I did the painting.
Oh no.
I stared at the paper for quite some time, but I simply could not recall the coloring of any bird. Except Master.
Shenna's always so practical, right? Shenna's like, I just couldn't recall any birds, so I just thought of Master. You know what I mean? That's it.
Or should I say that I'm too familiar with her crane form? Even when she stands before us in human form, all I can see is blue and white.
Oh. Well, now that you mention it, Paimon can see it too.
Exactly. So I simply closed my eyes and painted from memory.
No way. You can paint with your eyes closed? Wow. The disciples of adepti
You would
really
never
are
catch me
something.
drawing my eyes closed.
You are most filial, Shenhe. One is flattered by the likeness.
The Swanee that Gaming and Shuyu made looks very majestic. I'm sure it'll look even more impressive as it soars
Yeah, it
through
looks
the
beautiful.
sky.
It's gorgeous.
The eyes and ears glow in the dark, so you're sure to see it at
Jesus Christ.
night. Your golden finch is cute too, Yao Yao.
They're also pretty. They're all really nice.
It's all thanks to Auntie Cloud
Cute
Retainer's
laugh.
guidance.
What about your kite, Traveler?
Oh, wait till you see it. Oh, look, we're so proud of it. Don't you think it's amazing?
Its self-important countenance bears a striking resemblance to that of its namesake.
She is important.
It makes her look like she's already won the competition.
We have.
That's gonna happen one way or another.
I love this event so far. I'm smiling from ear to ear constantly.
Is that the Jade Chamber?
Wait, what? What?
Oh?
Wait. What? So someone else was flying a kite around here?
Who dares attempt such a flagrant display of impropriety by releasing a kite into one's territory without one's permission?
Who put a ball in my backyard, basically, is what she's saying.
Oh, and to do so by making use
What
of
the
this
hell?
crude piece of mortal machinery.
Who would have done this?
One simply must know who it is that
Oh my
possesses
God.
such impertinence. Continue attaching the strings, everyone. One will be but a moment.
Who the...
Cloud Retainer?
Hey, who did this?
Traveler, Paimon, could I trouble you to go after Cloud
Yeah,
Retainer?
100%. I'm so curious to
Master's
see who
going to
did
be
this.
Okay, right? I'm more worried about the person who
Yeah.
released the kite.
This is like, again, it's such like a family get together. It feels like kind of thing where it's like someone did something and one of the parents is like, who did that? And like, no, don't go, don't bother with it. No, I'm finding out who did that. And they leave and I was like, no, don't, you know, it's so, they did this so well, but like who could have done that? Oh, is it these guys?
This Fontanian device of mechanical motion is quite curious.
It's a Carver and Shaper.
Now is hardly an opportune time for your musings. Someone among us was not sufficiently attentive, and now the kite has
Actually, this is very sweet that the two of them are
Calm
playing with
yourself.
kites together as well.
Do you have any recollection of its last location?
One believes it drifted in the direction of Mount Outsong. Perhaps it is mere happenstance, but one feels a certain sense of dread at the thought.
Your concern is misplaced, surely. Cloud Retainer is either in the city looking after her disciples, or secluded in her abode attending to her research.
No, you have no idea,
She will
guys.
not
You have no
notice
idea.
that
You're
kite.
done. You're donezo.
On the subject of said kite, however, one simply must remark on the genius of its windless lift technology. One cannot help but surmise that
Don't
its
say it.
ingenuity rivals that of Cloud Retainer's creations.
Don't say it.
Still thy tongue. If Cloud Retainer were to hear you profess such a thing,
Yeah.
we can both say farewell
Imagine if she
to any
heard you.
further use of the supreme cuisine machine.
One presumes that this kite belongs to you.
You guys are done. You guys are done. I love her so much. I absolutely adore
Regard
her.
the situation with which we are now confronted. This is all your fault.
One's fault. One seems to recall that releasing the kite was no solitary endeavor. Say something, Mountain Shaper. Surely you can think of something to
I love that
appease
they're all
her.
adepti, but they're absolutely
Further
terrified of her,
explanation shall
of the
only
sight of
fan
her.
the flames of her wrath. It would be better to stay silent and retire at the earliest opportunity.
We can hardly avoid her forever. That may suffice during Lantern Rite. But what about the Moon Chase Festival? Sooner or later, she will
I
discover
think Paimon
her
already
true
mentioned you guys as well. Or maybe she doesn't know?
Hello?
Maybe she doesn't realize it's them.
Go retrieve the kite.
They're just talking to each other in their minds.
Absolutely not. You retrieve it.
That is not our kite.
What's she gonna say?
Oh, so an adeptus such as oneself is mistaken then?
Oh my god, guys, you're done.
You're an
No.
adeptus?
No.
Please forgive us for any impropriety. I truly possess no inkling of who could have released a kite into your esteemed domain. Pray, who could be responsible for such
recognize the
wanton
voice?
behavior?
Verily, verily, we were but delighting in the surrounding scenery.
Stop.
This
Stop.
locale is home to such
No.
exquisite mint. Well, and if that's all, then we'll just be on our way.
We finally caught up. You sure do fly fast in your
Oh, they're gonna
illuminated
reveal
bird
it.
form, Xianyun. Mooncarver? Mountain
You're done.
Shaper?
You're done.
What are you doing here?
It's over. You. She.
Okay, now Paimon's getting a weird vibe. Did she say something wrong?
You're gonna have to face the music,
It is
guys.
of no consequence. Long has one seen through
No,
their
you have to imagine,
disguises.
right?
One was simply curious as to how long they would keep up
Xianyun is like top 10 funniest characters ever. I'm sorry. She's so
Then
funny.
You are not angry?
How could one feel anger at the sight of two old friends enjoying themselves? One is also well aware of how enticing
That's very
these
sweet,
city
right?
novelties can
That's
be.
very sweet.
We were simply consumed by a fit of festive spirit. Seldom do we get the opportunity to partake in the delights of the times. However, we are far from being as adept as you in matters that require a deftness of hand. No worthy kite could be born of our own making. Thus, we could only take the convenient route, so to speak.
But you could have come and asked her
Your
to help
prowess
out.
in mechanics is unparalleled, Cloud Retainer. You wield the wind and waves
And they mean this stuff, by the way. They've seen her invention. She's fantastic at this stuff.
Stands unmatched across the land. Of this, we are well aware.
One has guests to attend to. We will have to convene again some other time.
You got off very lightly, guys.
Traveler, Paimon, do try to keep up.
We're leaving already?
She's such a mother.
All this flying from place to place is wearing Paimon out.
Yeah, like that. I
They're
wonder
back.
if she's just trying to hide the fact that she is kind of a bit upset that they were using the Fontaine machines just because she doesn't want to like upset her friends, because she does care about them, and she also realized that she hasn't talked to them in a while, so she also is kind of feeling like, well, I haven't talked to him in a while. This is the first time I've talked to him in so long. I don't want the first time for me to talk to him to be me scolding them or acting very competitive around them. You know what I mean? Possibly.
Paimon's pooped. Hi. Why are there only two of you left?
After you left, Yao Yao and Shu Yu tired themselves out playing with their kites. Gao Ming offered to escort them home.
Before he left, he said something that I don't quite understand.
Oh? What did he say?
He said, a kite is always tied down no matter how far it flies or how high it soars. Its tether prevents it from ever truly flying free.
Okay.
He looked quite dejected as he said this.
So maybe he still feels as though he has a tether attached to him. Maybe the tether is his dad. The fact that even though he is trying to be free now, he probably wants it to be maybe that his father can appreciate it as well, possibly.
Now that you mention it, Gao Ming did seem to have a rather strange attitude towards kites.
He definitely sees himself reflected in it 100%.
A reflection of himself. If I were a kite, I would cherish that tether as a symbol of kinship and the bonds that tie us and...
That's a very nice way of putting it.
Shenhe?
It may be an exceedingly slim and distant connection, but lose it, and you lose that which links you to home.
So Shenhe sees as the tether is something that is connecting her and her family, her and all of her mother, us, everyone she's met, as like this connection. Well, I wonder if Gao Ming is also is seeing it in a different way, where he's seeing it as like something that's keeping him down.
If Gao Ming truly sees a kite as a reflection of himself, then I fear I understand his words even less.
Well, people often have different points of view depending on their mindset and experiences,
Yes,
right?
100%.
It's actually quite normal.
Just like some people can eat spicy food, but others won't go anywhere near it?
Exactly. That's why tolerance and understanding are as important as they are.
Tolerance and understanding? What brought about this conversation? Did one miss something?
You took a while to get back, right?
We were just chatting. You don't have to butt in on every little thing, you know. Where were you anyway?
Yeah, you took a while to get back.
One was merely doing a bit of cooking.
Fair enough.
Night fast approaches. If you are otherwise unoccupied, one would entreat you to stay and eat before you depart.
She's saying you better eat dinner.
It's been so long since I've had the chance to enjoy your cooking, Cloud Retainer.
You okay,
Worry
Shenhe?
not. One has prepared a variety of meat and vegetable dishes. One is more than familiar with everyone's culinary proclivities.
So nice. We'll take you up on the offer then.
Shenhe, Ganyu, come with me.
Whoa, what's with all the secrecy? You're not trying to play favorites, are you?
I think Paimon, as much as she adores us, I believe they are her favorites. I believe they are her favorites. I'm telling you this right now, and it does not feel bad. We understand. Oh my, these are the outfits, the alt outfits. Oh my god, girls, girls, girls. Girls, your designs are always so fantastic, but like, these are stunning. Girls, look at this. The colors, the designs, it's like they're stunning, absolutely stunning. And like that's the thing, they always like look great, right? Their designs are always great, but it's always so different seeing them in a different design. It's like the Ningguang thing as well. Ningguang looks incredible, elegant, all this stuff, and then when you see her in the blue design, you're like, oh my god, it just like does something to your like, because you know these characters in one design and seeing them in a different design like changes everything like in your head about it. They look amazing. They look so good.
Oh, I can feel the wind brushing against
Oh,
my legs.
okay.
This is a bit embarrassing.
Well, if you don't like it, like that's a different thing as well. It's up to you as well what you're into.
Is the headpiece secure? I should have asked Cloud Retainer to check.
She's
before I
very
stepped
nervous about.
outside.
She's very practical about everything. Oh, Shenhe's.
How do we look?
Oh my god, Shenhe! Shenhe's like, Ganyu's like, is this, oh, my legs are showing. Which, by the way, not making fun of that whatsoever. Like, that's like a real, like, insecurity that you can have. It doesn't matter how good you look. It doesn't matter how someone else thinks you look good. It's a real insecurity that you can have 100%. Is my headpiece in straight? All this stuff. And Shenhe's just like, the opposite. They have different personalities. They always have. Shenhe's very forward. She's very like, just very practical about things in that sense where she's like, I'm just going to go forward and just do it. But this motion by Shenhe is so interesting to me.
I stepped outside.
Like the flap of it. Like, she's like, this is my dress. This is my dress.
How do we look?
She asked them just like
Yeah, you look great. You both look great.
You look pretty too, Ganyu. Oh, how should Paimon put it? You both look so.
Oh, Ganyu, look at her. She's very shy.
Those outfits really.
They do look incredible.
Given that one employed the services of the best tailor in all of Liyue, one would expect nothing less. What colors have you been partial to lately, Shenhe and Ganyu?
And she even asked her.
Lately, why is Cloud Retainer suddenly asking about what colors we like?
That's also a very grandma type of thing to do, right?
I like black.
She likes black. Good, great choice.
One is
Great
gratified
choice.
to see one's disciple has inherited one's own
Black on an
taste.
outfit, beautiful.
The color black doesn't get dirty easily. A virtue I've come to value recently.
She works in a restaurant, of course. Of course.
And you, Ganyu?
I favor blue and black.
Very nice.
And the material is
Oh, look at her
sufficiently
smile.
comfortable. Yes?
Yes, very. I simply cannot thank you enough, Cloud Retainer, for this gift. And the kite, too.
And that's the thing, it seems like Ganyu really likes the outfit. It's just obviously, like, as I said, so normal to, like, be a little bit shy when you change your whole outfit when you're doing something different than you usually do. I appreciate this so much because it is so nice for, like, this mother to buy her daughter, to get her daughters dresses made in exactly their own likings. And I think they look fantastic. I think they look really great.
Thank you, Master.
One is content, as long as you are pleased with the gift. One hopes these garments will see much use.
And then we have like the dinner, the Lantern Rite dinner together. Paimon's getting fed today.
Seems like your supreme cuisine machine is just getting better and better, Xianyun. This golden crab's particularly good. The shell's deliciously crunchy, and the meat inside is so succulent and sweet. Paimon can't stop eating. It's a good thing Gaming isn't here, or Paimon would have to duel him for the food. You know, with chopsticks.
I love that you trounce him is so funny.
He traveled all this way on account of the kite-making workshop, and he spent the whole afternoon looking after Xianyun.
Yeah.
I was hoping to treat him to a meal.
He is a sweetheart. We said this. He's a sweetheart.
Oh, well, one will just have to extend one's thanks in person.
It's rare for someone to make such a good impression on you, Cloud Retainer.
One has high standards. He appears to be a young man of much merit, and one is not the type who would see such potential squandered.
It appears that he wishes to break free from the kite string that tethers him.
Shanna remembers that conversation. It's probably been on her mind.
Huh. What strange metaphors you speak in, Shenhe. Ever since you returned from one mean restaurant, your turns of phrase render one at quite the loss.
Where do we even begin? Oh, do you know about the conflict between Gaming and his dad, Xianyun?
One has only heard that the two are not on good terms.
He ran away from home and hasn't been back since.
Oh?
This is such an interesting... I just realized it now and it just hit me. It took me a while to hit me. We have like two girls here who left their home, didn't run away from home, like had the support to leave home and to kind of spread their wings and do what they wanted to do. Whilst on the side with Gamin, he wasn't allowed to do exactly what he wanted to do. Like the legit big part of Xianyun's whole story quest was the idea of letting her daughters make their own mistakes, make their own choices, get their own successes, and support them either way. And it's so interesting to have this like parallel.
Ran away, you say? Oh. One believes we would all benefit from a more thorough retelling. Start from the beginning.
Oh, okay. Paimon just hopes he won't mind.
Yeah, yeah, because it's his story, you know?
What?
This shall not do.
Huh?
Lantern Rite fast approaches. We must
Wait,
make
what?
haste.
Wait, what?
As one was contacting various tailors around Liyue, one could not help but be reminded of Menogius. He possessed a singular talent for clothing design. He had an exquisite eye, not just for fabric selection and color pairing, but also for what accessories could best accentuate a garment's overall styling. At a gathering of adepti, Bonanis once complained in secret to some of the ladies in attendance that the skirt Menogius made for her was too long and impractical, lamenting that it would only hinder her in battle. However, when one asked Menogius his opinion, he remarked that the train of the skirt would serve to enhance her adepto countenance by exemplifying a certain elegance. Menogius was that type of person. When it came to topics relating to garments and accessories, not even Rex Lapis could best his stubbornness. And later...
It's okay. No, I was actually very interested to hear where it was going.
One means to say that Lantern Rite should be a day of reunion.
Beautiful. And that's what she wants her daughters with her.
It is a time to address problems before they turn into regrets.
Oh my god, Xianyun.
Fate is fickle.
Beautiful shot.
The cruel reality of this world is that suffering and misfortune can befall any of us without design or reason. If there is a chance for young people to remain insulated from this reality, one should do one's utmost to make it so.
That's nice and all, but...
Do you have any ideas, Cloud Retainer?
I just think it's so amazing that she stood up from the table and was like, when she heard that there was a child and a parent that like were estranged, she was like, no, this cannot happen. And that shows how much she actually cares about the people of Liyue and just people in general. Like, and she knows what it's like to be. We talked about being estranged from Carver and why am I blanking on the name? Sorry, I'm blanking on the two adepti name. But like, and Shaper, sorry. And like now as well, all the idea that she makes sure to make these traditions with her daughters to make sure they still eat together. Like she knows all too well about this. That's so freaking cool.
Perhaps adeptal arts could be of use. No. Mechanics, perhaps. One fails to see its use in a situation such as this.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Combining our efforts is a fine idea indeed.
I think it's so sweet that they're doing this.
One has an idea.
Obviously, you can think about like, maybe the idea of like prying, like you shouldn't pry too much into it, but I think that this is coming from a place of love. I genuinely think this is them being like, we want things to be better for Gaming.
How about this? Does that make sense to everyone?
Yep. Oh, Paimon really hopes this works.
One's designs never fail. Now then, I counsel rest for all, and to make the necessary preparations. One shall see you in 2 days.
Very, very interesting. I thought that, again, that's such... Actually, this is a perfect place to probably end this now, actually. But, like, because we're going to come back tomorrow with the next part of this. But, like, I think it's such a superb, like, way of doing this. Like, I the parallels, like, I guess weren't lost on me completely. But, like, I guess the deeper connection of the idea of why this is here, like, hit me so hard, like, so quickly when I heard that moment there. It is this parallel between Gamin's family and Shenhe and Ganyu. The way Shenhe and Ganyu left home, so did Ganyu, so did Gaming. But Gamin had to run away after getting in a fight where he didn't have support from his father, whilst Shenhe and Ganyu had the support to make mistakes, had the support to, like, do their own thing. And they're thriving. They really are. Because they have that support and that help if they ever need it. I think it's such an interesting story. Obviously, like, you know, you could talk about, like, us telling Gamin's story, like, and all this stuff, but it's told now, and I feel like we were going to tell it anyway, or I was going to get back to them anyway. But I love that Shenhe was so shocked about it, and, like, obviously, you know, Ganyu doesn't speak up like that all the time, so she's probably shocked by it too. But especially with Shenhe talking about the tether that, like, is tied to her, it feels more like she's tied to her mother still, but it's like a connection. She sees it as a connection rather than being tied down and anchored down, which is really, really cool as well. Yeah, all these scenes are really, really beautiful. And I think the deeper part about this, in this whole Lantern Rite, is going to be about Gaming's relationship with his family and the relationship with family in general. And I think that's such a sweet way of going about this story as well. I love the scenes. I was laughing from ear to ear. I think now we're going to get into, like, the more emotional moments that usually happen. Usually with events, the first part is, like, the really fun moments. And then, like, we usually go into the second part of the event, which is, like, usually, like, the very high emotional stuff, which is still fun. There's some fun stuff too. But it is very interesting to see what is going to be happening with this Lantern Rite stuff. I don't know if Hu Tao is going to be in this Lantern Rite, because she usually is around at the Lantern Rite, but maybe she's not. There might be some side stuff that I'm missing in this video. I'm not sure, but it is interesting to think about. But again, we usually just do the main story of this stuff anyway. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Thank you guys so much for supporting this series as always. And I want to say thank you so much to the Never Can Repay the Baby Gangsta tier on Patreon. That being Tyfire 2, Jamie Bull, Johnny the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicius Felix, Yuld, Radish, Anusta, Malcolm Hunday, Death Trap, Lynx Markey, Assassin, Alpaca Juice, Eopsy, Xander Whatever, and True Peanut Butter. And I'll see you all so soon. Bye bye.